All right, so before we talked about making the leap of faith, because people, going to learn, and then people ask you, say, Rabbi, I need a job, I need to get money, I need to. And it's a very common question. And I heard a financial advisor talking about that. I said, Shtabach Shemo La'ad, look, I was trying to make a point for the guys I didn't have, and I listened to this financial advisor, and I guess there is a guy in head and everything. He says the following: the mistake that people make, including investments, and including looking for a job, is a very simple yet basic mistake that people make. People want to make a lot of money. People want to make X amount of money. However, people don't need that kind of money. So if you're going to ask me what kind of job should I take or how much money should I make, I said, okay, let's see, very simple. How much money do you really need, not how much money you really want. How much money do you really need? And if you therefore make a cheshbon, make your calculation, an argument's sake, for your basic needs, let's say you would need to get a job that will pay you, I'm just using numbers, let's say $65,000. You really want to make $180,000. Even if you're a doctor, or a lawyer, or whatever. Let's say you're a doctor. Crummy doctors today get 180. It's not a big deal to get a doctor to get 180. But do you really need that 180? Don't tell me, I need to get, pay my bill. That's just nonsense, When you finish with this, you start with somebody else. You start with the bills, you never end, because then you take a bill, you take a loan on your Mercedes that you don't need, and so on. But you know what I'm saying. Do you really need that $180,000 or $150,000? How much do you really need? Need, not want. And I'm saying need, not create a debt to yourself. What we do most of the time, we create a debt to ourselves. We put ourselves in a situation of debt when we can save even. And then it's a spiral, you can't break away from it. One leads to another, one leads to another, one leads to another. And then you go further down into the pit, until it's completely dark and you can't come out of it. But how much do you really need? So if you really need, argument's sake, if you really need $65,000, go look for the job that will pay you $65,000, and then the rest of the time, learn. You know what? Don't even learn. Okay, you have to learn, but spend time with your family. You tell me your family is your number one priority? Your wife, your kids, your words are empty. You don't really mean that. Because all you do is you can't wait to go to work overtime, so you don't have to come home and deal with your kids, or you don't have to come home and deal with your wife. You're happy. Somebody says, when does a married man goes out on vacation? And the answer is when he goes to work in the morning. That's a very bad attitude. And that all comes because you take jobs that you don't really need. You don't need that headache. Because nothing is for free. You would have to work for those things. So if you want to make $180,000 and because of that you went to become a doctor, A, you're going to become a very bad doctor. B, you just created debt to yourself. You don't have to. Because you really need $65,000. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. Look at what you need, not what you want. In our society, it's all about what we want. This uncontrolled urge of I want. And then we lose control and we lose it. I want this. Well, everybody else has it. No, but so what if everybody else has it? What does it mean that you have to have it? You don't need it. If you see a watch that is $200 cheaper, but it only costs you $500, but you already have 3 watches, why do you need another one? Or a car. Why do you need to change cars so quickly, so often? Why can you drive the car until it dies? I think they make a cost analysis of cars. I think when it costs you more than, I think like 50 cents or something like this per mile, it's per year. If you, it's already but most cars don't cost that. Why can't you just do it? Why do you need such an expensive car to begin with? Argument say, why do you need a 4x4? Because of the snow? Guys, it hasn't snowed here in a long time. Like really snow to require that. If it's so, if it's snow, you really need like a Honda Fit, a light front wheel drive car that will take you anywhere. Probably better than your 4x4. What do you need it for? But you don't even know how to drive off-road. You don't know. You don't know between high-low and gear, between locking differential, locking front, locking. You don't know those things. Why do you need all those features on your car? You don't need it. You pay for it. If you take a normal pickup truck, argument's sake, $22,000, like this. But then you put this one and this one and this, you ended up with $45,000. What do you need it for? Because what do you need a pickup truck living in New York City? What are you, a cowboy? You want a pickup truck, move to Texas. Why do you need it? You don't need it. But you want it, and now you pay for it. Now you are Eved. Not only you're Eved all the time, you are Eved on Eved. You're a slave of slaves, and there's no greater darkness than that. You're a slave of slaves. So think very carefully before you're going to buy the next thing. Do you really need it? Before you buy the next pair of shoes, how many shoes are in your closet? Before you buy your shirt, throw another shirt. Make the rule. You buy one, you throw one. You don't end up with 50 shirts and 17 pairs of shoes. What are you, Imelda Marcos? You don't need that. You do so, you get control. Now, control is a different issue. So, pay very close attention. Think very carefully about what is it that you need out of life, and then find your job according to. You do so, you have a chance to make it. You don't, you're in the pit, just like anybody else. Have a great day.